the Point in Progress Podcast, Ep.5, your one-stop shop for news, recommendations, and some spicy takes. Join 5 friends across 3 time zones and 2 countries every week as we discuss all things we love while still thinking critically about them. Hello, I'm Frank. I killed a man.
Why? Why would you say that? Why would you admit to murder right off the bat?
Because they can't prove it.
Some phantom thieves come into your life and changed your heart to reveal yourself? Like, what's going on here? What the hell's happening?
Because they
They
can't.
can change my heart, but they can't find the evidence.
Jesus. That was a way to open up the show, Frank. Thanks.
How's it going, everyone? How's it going?
I'm fine. You made me feel better about me trying to come in the episode.
We're coming in hot this week. We're coming in hot.
Yeah,
this
episode
week.
5. We're
It's gonna
5
be
episodes
a
deep.
good one.
Y'all made me the host this week, so you know it's gonna be extra spicy.
Oh, no.
You were just up in the rotation.
I specifically chose to be last for a reason, so I don't ever have to do this again.
I think technically you're first, right?
Technically, yeah.
Technically.
No,
I
Fee
guess
was
we
first.
did one during one of the test ones that we did, right?
Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
I still
yeah.
think
Hart did the first episode, didn't he?
I did the first.
No,
Did I do the first?
Fee.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
what's
I think I
Fee?
did like I did a
No.
host for
episode.
one of the
Fee.
test ones.
It was Fee. Yeah.
Yeah. We did a bunch of test episodes, and Fee was the first one to do one.
Got it.
Yeah, and Harv was the first one to
correct.
do like the actual like real episode.
Yeah,
The
we
real
watched.
show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
out of the rotations of it.
Those test episodes that you guys will never see.
Maybe one day.
Never see the light of day.
Yes.
Yet.
So, just like every week, we have our segments. So we're gonna move right into for the first segment this week. Segment 1, the checkpoint, housekeeping. Sly doesn't have a Dutch today. I don't know. Still don't know what that means.
It's in a Dutch cup. It's just water. Yeah, I went to Dutch earlier in the morning instead of right before the podcast, so I do not have Dutch today. Very sad, but shout out Dutch Bros. Please sponsor us. I talk about you every week. We love you here. That's all I got.
Here in Point in Progress, where we tried to beg for sponsorship, we have Dutch by Sly, and we have Book de Beppo by Frank.
Yes,
So-
I bought a Buca de Beppo t-shirt. Here it is again. I hate standing up, but there it is.
Yes.
That's
I-
it in all its glory. Me and Mario bought one this week, and somehow mine showed up earlier, and I have no
So
idea why,
upset.
but here we are. My Punisher, what's it called? Beanie
Mask,
also showed
yeah.
up as well,
Ah,
but
okay.
it's way too small.
Oh, no. Well,
Yeah,
that's,
so I'm just gonna
that's
give it my
unfortunate.
dad.
That's
He
unfortunate.
has small head. And then Harv also made a TikTok this week, or last week actually, right?
No, today.
You
today.
made. Wait, I thought you made it
A
last
new one
week.
today.
I
made
made
another
la-
one?
Yeah, dude, I'm at 2. I'm a TikTok machine.
Oh,
Why do you
man.
have 2 TikToks? What's the point? Was
I'm
one like an OnlyFans one? The other one is just
No,
like gaming?
no, I have one TikTok
No,
account.
2
I mean,
videos.
You gotta
2
make
videos.
you gotta make
you
a
made
TikTok.
Video. Got it.
I see.
I thought you had 2 TikTok accounts. I was like,
No,
what-
I'm not, dude. I can barely even function one, let alone fucking 2.
At the end of this episode, I'll stitch it to the end of this episode so people can see it.
Please do.
see your TikTok? Okay.
It's a joke that came up with the 3-year anniversary stream that I had on Saturday, where I had to eat habaneros, and apparently I sounded like a Pokemon, and it was fun. It was fun.
Well, it'll be here at the end of the episode while all our listeners can try to figure out which Pokemon you sound like.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Whoever wins gets a
Place
gold
your
star.
bets. Place your bets.
Exactly.
So, guys, I'm gonna start with. Let me see. Who's a spicy take here? Sly, what have you been playing this
What?
week?
I got a Switch.
Oh, look at that.
So I got a Switch. I've been playing some of the freaking Animal Crossing. I have many thoughts and feelings. None of them are new or original, but yeah. I'll just say I miss the GameCube Animal Crossing. That's all I got. I don't want to go any further than that. We've
No, I feel you on
canceled
that.
enough times. But
you on that
I
side.
I really miss the OG GameCube Animal Crossing. It's probably one of my favorite games. And I started playing it a year ago during quarantine because everybody else was playing the new one and I felt left out. So I busted out my GameCube. And now that I don't have that anymore, I'm very sad. But yeah, I got a Switch, even though I said I wouldn't. Here we are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the GameCube version of Animal Crossing just feels like there's a lot more stuff to do, like right off the get go. I get like Nintendo, you got to have time with these things to fully put out all the stuff, but there's just a lot more stuff to do. Harv, I see you raising your hand there.
Oh, the guy that gets us canceled? Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Okay.
So one of the big things about this game, this Animal Crossing game, is like, man, I had so much fun for like the first month that I played it, and then after that, it just died. There's like just not enough to do in this game. And I don't know where people are finding the time or finding the things to do in this game.
It's called time travel.
I don't know. But you can't do the events, right?
Yeah.
You can speed through the events. You can speed through the events.
No, but I mean,
but the thing is, the Halloween.
Yeah, no.
You can't events.
No, you have to backtrack if you're gonna do that.
Yeah, because they do updates for that stuff, right?
Yes.
So it's not in the game yet. But like, I just don't know where people find what to do in that, unless you're just rearranging your island over and over and over, which is fine, right? But I guess there's a new thing that they added with the Mario stuff now, because the Mario 35th anniversary.
Yes.
So that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. And then Harv, while we're on you, what have you been playing this week?
This week I have been going through Neo 2, the complete edition on the PC. It's a lot of fun. It just brings back Neo. Like I said last week, this is what I've been playing primarily right now. It runs buttery smooth on PC, which is really, really nice. Weirdly, the cutscenes are all in 30 FPS, and I don't know how I feel about that. And I think I said this last week as well.
For listeners from last week, yes, this is episode 5, I swear.
Yes, this is the same thing.
Is this episode 5?
But I promise this coming week for episode 6, I will have new games.
It could be other than games too, man. If you're enjoying it, you're enjoying a nice papaya, just tell me about it.
I've been rewatching The West Wing again.
Nice papaya.
I've been rewatching The West Wing again. So
okay, there you go.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite shows of all time. So I've been rewatching it again.
Good old American politics, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, dude, right? In the early 2000s, apparently.
Yeah.
So, that's Neo 2 is the only thing I've been playing.
I see Fee is patting a chair. Fee, what have you been playing this week other than with your chair?
I'm assuming there's a cat there.
Wait, Fee, you're muted.
You're muted.
My cat's there. That's her chair.
Okay.
So she was just staring at me and meowing, and I'm like, "What do you want?" And so I was trying to get her to sit on her chair. Yes, there is a. By the way, for the listeners, I have a black cat named Hera, and she specifically has my old chair, which you can see that she claimed as her own because there's claw marks all along the back. And so this is her computer chair, so she can feel like she's gaming as well. So she'll sit behind me when I'm streaming. And
so you're gonna give her a controller as well?
You gotta give her an
so when
controller.
she sits on like the sofa, like, oh god, you can see her if she looks at the actual screen. She has she'll sit right in front of a controller and put her paw on it, and that's all she'll do. She'll just sit there and put her paw on the controller, and that's it. She won't play around with the controller itself. She'll just put her paw on it.
It's fine. I'm not crying.
So yeah. No, however, when I'm not sitting in my Secret Labs chair, she will take my Secret Labs chair and sit in it. Even though she's been told multiple times she's not allowed to. She apparently just likes my expensive chair.
It sounds like this crazy loop that you got going on with your cat.
Exactly. It's a constant, wow, I don't want to be here anymore.
Oh man,
that was a segue.
Wait, we got Fee to quit. We got Fee to quit.
Fee
oh my god.
Quit. Let's loop back into what game you've been playing, Fee.
I've been playing.
What?
I've been playing Loop Hero.
Are we sure it's not episode 4?
Yes, because I've been playing it. Shocker, guys. I've played a game longer than 2 hours. I've continuously played that this week. Golf Clap. It is a lot of fun. As a roguelike, it is very difficult, and it is not it's not kind by any means, but I've been having a lot of fun. I've actually been streaming it as well over on my Twitch channel, and it's been definitely a time and a half.
What's that Twitch channel?
Twitch.tv/Cyranix.
There we go.
But yeah, no, I've been playing that. It's been a lot of fun, and honestly, I'm really impressed by how the gameplay is, and I'm really happy to see all the recognition it's been getting over the past week, especially for a smaller game. I personally love games like this, kind of niche deck builders / roguelike games. I personally love this kind of stuff, and the theme itself is just top notch. And yeah, it's just been a lot of fun and would highly recommend it. But yeah, that's what I've been doing this week for games.
Awesome. Back to the topic on your cat before we transition here. Have you ever had a sibling or a cousin come over your house and you just give them an unplugged controller? You can play with me. And it's just here's an unplugged controller. And they're just playing with this controller, thinking that they're actually playing the game.
I have not, but apparently Lucas used to do that to his younger brother when he was playing with his friends, and would just give him a controller, and then he'd be like, "Yeah,
yeah."
I can chime in on this one. Yeah, I was that kid for my brother.
Oh no! Oh no!
Damn right.
As a younger brother, that was me.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Also, what have you been playing, my best of friendo?
Best of friendo. Actually, I'm switching something up here. We're not going to talk about the second game I have because I want to talk about what we discovered this week. But I've been playing Persona 5 Strikers because Mario is the coolest man and bought me a copy of it because I refused to buy a copy for myself for some reason. No, it's great. I love it. I don't know if I would like Persona to move into this type of direction, but it's definitely a cool little spin-off to kind of mess around with. But on top of that, me and Fee finally breezed through some Jujutsu Kaisen some more. I swear it's not episode 4. I swear it's not.
This is the sequel to episode 4. It's episode 5.
We've basically caught up to Jujutsu Kaisen, and my God, there is a bromance that beats every single bromance I've ever seen. Scrubs has nothing on this bromance. But yeah, it's. I want to get Mario to watch this because I feel like you would actually love Jujutsu Kaisen really, really much. Mainly because it just has none of the anime tropes that you hate.
Fair enough. If it hits Hulu, I'll be into it.
We could just watch it in a stream party, man.
Yeah, but that takes commitment. You know?
Yeah, most things, Mario. Watching on Hulu takes commitment too.
Yeah, but I can only upset myself. I can't upset others at a watch party.
You're making me lose my mind, Mario. But on top of losing people's minds, Mario, what have you been playing this week?
Actually, that's a pretty solid segue. I'm playing a game that was given to me. It was a code provided by the team there that I will remember in a second. I mean, Tabrox Games. They reached out to me.
Professionals.
No, I swear. But somebody I don't want to say any more. But other than that, then the game is called Nero Deck. It comes out on March 18th. It is a deck builder game. So it's in the line of classic games like a Magic the Gathering, or even what's that? I want to say Tumblestone, but it's the
Hearthstone.
Hearthstone. It's been a while since I played that game, but it's in a deck builder in where you are collecting cards and playing and fighting against phobias. So, for instance, there are some things that if you're things that you're afraid of, or even personal traits, and you attack them by your individual cards themselves are things that you do. So it's spending time with others, playing video games to get things off your mind, taking a break. Those are all what the cards are actually labeled after. And you're fighting things like toxic masculinity and fear of spiders, and some other insomnia. You're fighting against things like that. And the monsters are illustrated in fun ways, sort of these different versions of kind of monsters you'd see in the game Limbo, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. It tells a a quick story of like as you're going along and completing and getting new cards that I find interesting, and I'm excited to stick with it. And eventually, you know, I'll play it on a stream because I think it is actually kind of cool to watch and experience with people as you're going along. So yeah, I really like it.
Sounds like a sly ass game.
It's really cool.
Yeah,
it's really cool. I'll see if I'll talk to them to see if they can show it to you. But yeah, it's really cool.
Awesome.
You said deck builder, and I was instantly
hooked.
Like on board.
Yeah, it comes out March 18th.
As you currently play a deck builder.
It's going to be available on Steam and the Switch, so you can play it on the Switch.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, now you might be wondering why this asshole here is hosting this week. Well, that's because I'm hosting. And since I'm hosting, we're going to have other people do the news this week. So Mario, take it away.
All right, so now it's Mario's News Corner. Here we go, segment 2.
It's Mario's News Corner this week.
The patch notes.
I do want to thank Fee for compiling the news this week. Thank you.
Yes, Fee did a great job in compiling the news. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
thank you.
I read it ahead of time. It looks really good.
Yes, so thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak for you. Starting with segment 2 in the patch notes, the first big story. It's finally official. They've gotten married. Bethesda and Microsoft are together. They are one. There is no prenup. So shout out to them. It was a 7.5 billion purchase. That's a lot of money. And which of course goes into our first article by Nick Stat at The Verge report. Why Microsoft bought Bethesda for $7.5 billion. Microsoft's priciest video game acquisition, a $7.5 billion purchase of Bethesda Softworks' parent company, ZeniMax Media, shocked the industry on Monday. The deal puts Bethesda as one of the industry's biggest publishers and owners of some of the most successful gaming series under the Xbox brand. It also raises a simple but powerful question: how does buying Bethesda fit into Microsoft's overall Xbox strategy? To sort of sum up, there was like a roundhouse table that they did where there was a video that was like an hour long where they talked about everything. And some of the things I think they pulled out of there, I think right here, with concerns of the future Bethesda games being Xbox exclusive, Phil Spencer said to Bloomberg, but he also said on this roundtable that it's going to be a case-by-case basis when we shall see games as they see. So they're basically taking care of all their legalese of like the games that I've already contracted. So Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop, they're going to definitely go to PlayStation first. Eventually, they might show up, obviously, on Xbox and Game Pass specifically. And the big thing here was Game Pass. The fact that after this announcement, the next day, we got 20 of the biggest, craziest Bethesda games now on the platform that is able to play via Xbox, PC, and cloud. So much more access now to these games that I feel like people might not have given a chance. So that's pretty crazy. Really, the question is to everyone, to you guys, what do you guys think of this? Like, is this a good thing for Xbox and a good thing for gamers overall? I'm gonna give it to Harv. Harv looks like he's contemplating something.
No, so I've talked about this for a couple of times. Be like, what games are going to be more exclusive and what games are going to be multi-platform for this deal, right? For the games that are like really, really popular, like I think this is a good thing for Microsoft if they can get their exclusivities right with their franchises, right? Elder Scrolls and like Fallout, I feel like should be it should be everywhere because it is a brand that's already been established. It's got a lot of lineage going back to PlayStation, a lot of lineage going back to like the different systems and stuff like that, right? But when it comes to like Starfield, when this new game's coming out, like Starfield, maybe that's going to be an exclusive game to Xbox, right? Because it's a new IP. They don't know how it's going to go, how it's actually going to perform. Maybe it's going to be better on Game Pass. Maybe it'll be an exclusivity on Game Pass before it comes on to PlayStation, like a 6-month exclusivity deal. And this drives more people to Game Pass now. Like I was looking today and I saw all the Fallout games on there. I was like, wow, okay. Fallout, Doom, Dishonored, all the games are on there now. Even Fallout 76 is on there. And it's like, man, like this is an incentive. But if you don't have Game Pass, why this makes it seem like you have to have Game Pass at this point. If you want to play all of the Bethesda games for what? $15 a month? $12 a month? Sometimes it's $1 just to get in.
Yeah, so Microsoft says it has 15 million Game Pass subscribers, averaging $10 per. And I think that's because there's the premium version that has everything together, and then there's just Game Pass by itself.
Yeah.
Which I believe
So,
is 15.
in my opinion, this is I think it's gonna work amazing for Xbox. For when it comes, for the games that are coming onto Game Pass right now. For the games that are coming out soon, I am still trepidatious about what is going to be exclusive and what is not going to be exclusive. So I'm kind of hoping they go everywhere, but honestly, like they said, it's a case by case basis. So maybe the ones that are already established won't, and the ones that aren't, and they're just trying to see how it goes, they will be.
Got it. Before I jump into Fee, because Fee is my ace in the hole when it comes to Bethesda. Slide, have you had a history or a connection to any of these titles and the fact that they're now accessible to everywhere that you could possibly play? Because you got an Xbox Series X, is that correct?
I don't have an X. I have an S. I have the little baby one.
Sure.
I love it to pieces. It's literally just my Game Pass machine, but I love it.
Yeah.
I don't have that history because I had mostly Nintendo consoles growing up, right? So I didn't really play any of those games. And I'm really excited because now I can play through all of Fallout and see why Fee loves Fallout so much and that kind of stuff, right? So I'm really excited to jump into some of those older Bethesda games that I now can, for what feels like for free on Game Pass. So that's what I'm most excited about is Game Pass is just, it's been said a million times, it's just so good for gamers. Especially being a very broke college student, being able to pay $15 a month and have access to hundreds upon hundreds of games. It's incredible.
No, for sure. That's absolutely true, especially with the EA play as well, a part of that. So it's just gotten bigger. The fact that the games that you're going to be able to play, and I'm so jealous by, is that you're going to see the FPS boosts from your Series 7, Series S. That makes me jealous that you're going to be able to experience these in a different way. And then for people that have the X, the 4K stuff. So that makes me pretty jealous. But Fee, as someone who is a massive Bethesda fan, loves the Fallout series, how does this strike to you? Because I know that you have were you primarily a PlayStation person? Does this scare you at all?
I am primarily a PlayStation. I will admit, before I was a PlayStation person, I was a PC fan. I played everything on PC. So once I actually get a computer, which currently is the top priority, I'm really excited for this. I'm really happy to see that all of these games are being brought over. I know that Bethesda and Microsoft have honestly kind of been in a kind of a bromance / friendship for years. This was just essentially them just finalizing it. And so it makes a lot of sense in the long run that they made this move. And I'm kind of excited because this might open opportunities to maybe see better options. And I know, and it was just discussed in the roundtable, is when Fallout 76, they know that it did not do well at the beginning. They messed up. And the group that was working on it, I know Todd Howard specifically mentioned the fact that he reached out to Phil Spencer and was just what should we do? And now that they are working as a team, they might have access to this knowledge and this these other studios and more abilities to be able to avoid those particular issues in the future with future Fallout games and future Elder Scrolls games and the newest game that they're coming out with as well. So I'm really excited for this. And honestly, I think this is a really great move because this allows a lot of people to get access to these games, because this might be along the lines of, well, I've been interested in Fallout, but then I heard 76 sucks. So now they have access to the older games like 3, New Vegas, and 4, which were fan favorites at the times when they were released. They are great games. Mind you, they still have glitches, but that's just the Bethesda norm. But I'm really excited to see more people to get access to these games. Like you guys said, I've been a huge fan for quite a while of the series, and I enjoy the Elder Scrolls not as much as Fallout, just because I have way too many hours in Fallout, but it makes me really excited, and I'm Am I slightly worried about exclusivity? Maybe, but not to the extent that maybe I would have been like a few years ago, because I know right now the main focus for Xbox is Game Pass, because the whole idea of bringing these games and having Bethesda specifically to have, like, when they release these games, you can just play it on Game Pass. Like, you're not going to have to worry about it. This gives more options to gamers. And if it means in the long run that people like Sly can get access to it, because a lot of people who are gamers are broke college students, and just it allows people to play games that they may not have like realized it in the past because they have access to it now. Because rather than having to spend a bunch of money, they can be like, hey, you know what? I heard, what is it? Let's say Dishonored was a good game, so I'm just going to download it and try to play it this weekend. Or I am going to try The Evil Within because I like horror games. Like, it gives more opportunities for gamers who may not have wanted to put money forward in the past. Yeah.
No, that's all solid takes. Frank, as the closest Fallout fan near me, and I know this because don't you own the nuke from Fallout?
I do. I own the nuke. I have a power armor helmet in the back. I got a few Pip Boys.
And a couple bags from your collector's edition.
Yeah, I have the canvas bag and the shitty nylon one they gave us for Fallout 76.
What are your thoughts on this?
So I'm looking at the list here of like the games that are getting added, and I'm a little ashamed to say I've played every single one of these very extensively. I'll get to the Microsoft thing in a minute, but I feel on the Bethesda side, this is great because ZeniMax, I feel, wasn't really holding Bethesda to a standard. Given I like the idea of just taking a company and letting them roll with what they do, and I hope Microsoft does that with Bethesda. But at the same time, I hope they hold them to a standard of let's get these glitches out of the way. Bethesda, it's 2021. We shouldn't be using the Gamebryo engine. We should be using a new engine that's better. Bethesda now has the resources to, multi-billion-dollar company, multi-trillion-dollar company. Bethesda, please change your engine already. Gamebryo is way too old for this. But on the Microsoft side, one of the biggest complaints Microsoft has against them right now is that Microsoft just doesn't have any big hitters like Sony does. They don't have a God of War. They don't have a Last of Us. They don't have these like crazy games that are always showing up in a Game of the Year type of like setting. And I feel that's going to change with Bethesda, bringing all these companies in, like Arcane, like Bethesda themselves, the studio that does Ghostwire. I think they're Tango Gameworks.
Yeah.
Tango Gameworks, yeah. Shinji Mikami's company, I believe it is.
Yeah.
But all these studios are slowly like funneling into Microsoft, and that's not even including the big studio acquisitions they had a few years ago, with like Ninja Theory, I believe, and all those other companies.
Yeah. This feels like 10 of those.
Exactly, right? It feels like they just like acquired 10 more companies. This is big. It may not look like it right now because Microsoft still doesn't have anything really to show for it other than Game Pass titles being added. But give it a year or two. It's gonna be competitive. And one of the best things about things getting competitive is that Sony is gonna figure out a way to retaliate against this or figure out a way to one up Microsoft in some way, and I can't fucking wait. I can't wait. Like, competition is the best part. If you've ever followed the GPU and CPU market, you remember AMD used to be like crazy terrible and nobody ever wanted to buy them. You'd always buy Intel, you'd always buy Nvidia. That changed. Now GPUs are getting cheaper, given you can't find them. CPUs are getting cheaper, given you can't find them. But competition always breeds more innovation, and I cannot wait to see what comes out of innovation when it comes to these studios joining Microsoft.
That's kind of what I'm hoping that the PlayStation Plus thing that they've done, right? With the old PS4 games and putting up to PS5 and up-resing them and giving them 60 FPS. I'm hoping as long as you have PlayStation Plus, they're going to add all these games day one. I doubt they're going to do that because I feel like PlayStation's still in the old mindset of like, we got to charge people $70 for a game, right? And right now, well, we're gonna do it because we want to play the new God of War, we want to play the new Horizon. But I feel like at some point they gotta take the turn, right? They gotta go around the corner and just be like, okay, we need to change.
They have to put their backs against the wall for it to happen. I think like it has to be drastic that Xbox has to swing up for that to happen, because there is no actual reason why PlayStation needs to do anything major at this point. Like I said, like even Frank said, they have the games. We're buying them. You know, I think that's
consoles are being sold.
As a matter of fact, yeah, I mean that's one of our other stories that we have going on where we're talking about the. I mean, let's transition to that one. Yeah, and then I'll jump over it. But basically, one of our other stories here is by Wesley LeBlanc by IGN. PS5 is the fastest selling console in the U.S. history for dollar sales. Of course, Fia has pointed out that the Switch is gross sales, if I'm not mistaken. So it's still, you know, consoles are doing good, but specifically out of the two latest new ones, PS5 seems to be the fastest one selling by dollar. According to this MPD group, released its monthly report covering the best-selling consoles, video games from February. So it's been since February. But yeah, even though there's some crazy shortages going on and people are been stopping up whenever Wario 64 comes up and has a link, everyone's crazy for it. I think that the PS5 is still at such a high demand that it's still going to be a while before I would even see Xbox coming up, even though they have all these awesome acquisitions, but they just don't have the games. They have other people's games right now. So I don't know what are your thoughts in terms of the PS5 fee for it being one of the biggest selling things right now?
Honestly, I'm not particularly shocked, and I think that kind of goes back to the fact that Microsoft might be putting a real focus on Game Pass, because for someone like me, I technically, like, once I get a PC, I'm probably not going to buy the newest Xbox right away. Like, sure. I have the PC, so I'm going to be able to play these games on PC, and I'll be happy about it. I'm not going to be like, going to be honest, that's completely something I wouldn't have said like a few years ago, because I used to be like, you know what, this is really dumb. Like, Xbox isn't putting in the focus that they should be. Like, their PC gaming, like, sure, that's kind of cool, but like, why am I going to buy a console when I can just play it on PC? But now I'm like, hell yeah, I want to get fucking Game Pass to be able to play all these games. And that's where they're making money. And yeah. I know right now, to be able to play these PlayStation games, you need the console. Like, you need to have the PlayStation 5. And I understand why they're making that much money, and I can see why specifically they're doing so well. As like they've been out for 5 months at this point, that they're making so much money, like every single time. And we've talked about this in the past, where it will go on sale, like it'll be posted somewhere and then it'll be instantly sold out. Like, the Switch was really popular when it first came out, and I'm like, it's still doing fantastic for sales numbers. Yeah. But it was not in comparison to how crazy this has been with the PlayStation, because the Xbox, like, you see it on there for a few hours, like, it lingers, like, it'll still sell out by all means, but nobody's telling me anywhere. Nobody's telling
me when I want one.
That's the thing. Every time I see like Wario 64 and stuff, they tweet about it. Literally, like 2 minutes later, people are saying, I can't get one now. I can't get one, because they're just gone. They're just instantly gone. And I feel like this shortage of PS5s is going to happen probably for the rest of the year. But like it's insane. And like, going back to like the Game Pass thing, it's like, yeah, I guess at some point it's going to have to happen, right? But like you guys said, we're gonna pay the money to buy these games like God of War and Horizon and stuff like that, because we want to play those games. And we know how high quality they're going to be.
For sure. Yeah. Frank, did you have something to say?
I just think
okay. But go ahead, Fee.
No. I was just going to say, like, as a person who's a fan of Stadia, I want to be able to, like, I want to see things like the streaming services when it comes to games. Kind of, like, it's definitely where we're looking into. Like, that's, like, what it seems to be, like, the future of gaming, because it's the same thing that happened with television, where we had streaming services like Netflix come in and a bunch of these other ones, because now everyone needs to have a fucking streaming service. That it's almost the same way with games. Like, obviously it plays a little bit differently. You're not playing it online, but you have access to all of these games. And rather than in the past where you've had to buy multiple games, you can just pay for a subscription to just play them. and it makes it it's accessible to more people, and I think that's actually really smart on Microsoft's part, because it's not just the console that you need now, whereas, like I said, with PlayStation, you need the console. With Microsoft, they're like, yeah, you can play on PC. If you want to pay, like,
you can play on your phone.
You can play on your
phone.
phone.
You can play anywhere. You
can play Halo on your freaking phone. Mind you, am I going to play Halo on my phone? No.
I did it in the Horizon store.
Yeah. I think it's really smart.
Play Tell Me What on your phone. There's no excuses. Go play Tell Me What.
That's how I played it.
And the money that they're making from the subscriptions is probably why they're putting so much of a focus on it, because they're realizing how many people want to play games that way.
For sure. Frank, did you have a follow-up?
Yeah, basically everything Fia already just said.
It's perfect.
No,
it's good.
I was gonna say I don't think the console war really even matters anymore, because the way Xbox is positioning their console now, it's not that you're buying just a console, you're buying the service that goes with it. You're buying a very good Xbox Live service, you're buying a catalog of games for $15 a month. Like, it's insane. I remember back in the day where we had to scrounge for games. Like, we had to play demos over and over again just to get like the feel of a game and stuff like that. Now, for $15, you could just play thousands of games just like right at your fingertips. It's insane. And until Sony really figures out a way to do something on their end, they're always going to kind of look in a way a little bit less enticing. I get the PlayStation 5 is a big and everybody loves the console and everything like that, but there's really nothing to play on it right now other than up-reses of games you've already played. And unfortunately, like, yeah, they give you something every month, but so does Xbox. And Xbox has 1,000 more games on there to, entice you into keep playing their console.
For audio listeners,
the audio listeners, Mario just held up Immortals Phoenix Rising PS5.
No, is that Immortal?
Yeah, it's Immortals.
Why did I think that was Horizon for a second?
I thought that was Tony Hawk. I was about to say, like, that's on every other console. But like Fee said,
I'm still replaying Miles Morales every time I get sad. So like,
there you go.
But the thing about Miles Morales is that it is a PS4 game as well, right? It's not just a PS5; it's on PS4.
Yeah.
Right. So right now, like when you look at your PS5 catalog, you're like what Frank said, you're still playing PS4 games at this point as doing up-res. I guess like the only other one right now is Demon's Souls, which is a PS5 exclusive. The Final Fantasy VII Remake is going to be a PS5 exclusive when it comes out, which is kind of insane.
Wait, PS5? What are you saying?
Yeah, the new one.
The new Intergrade is going to be PS5 exclusive.
Yeah, got it. I thought you were talking about part 2. Like, yeah.
No. Well, I mean, now since this PS5, like this Intergrade is PS5 exclusive, do they do Final Fantasy VII Remake, the next part, PS5 exclusive?
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, the next one will be exclusive for sure.
Yeah.
There's no way they would.
And they won't do PS4 for that one.
No, there's no. By the time that game comes out, which is like 2030, PS4 is going to be already.
To be fair, Harv,
we'll have Elden Ring by the time we have Final Fantasy.
Oh, don't say that! Don't. No, I refuse.
Don't hurt Harv like that.
I was gonna say, I mean, Intergrade is really just them not avoiding to say the word remastered.
It's literally the subsistence of Final Fantasy.
But Intergrade is more of a side story.
No, well, you're saying so Yuffie's story is not going to be on the PS4? That sounds silly.
No, it's a PS5 exclusive.
Yeah,
that part's
dumb.
definitely PS5.
That sounds dumb.
That was PS4 peasants.
No, it doesn't. No, but the fact that it's literally just an episode like DLC that you have to pay for, by the way, it's separate from Intergrade. No, it has to come for PS4. There's no way. I'll look that up later. But anyway,
look it up all you want.
I'll look it up.
This is all what the. Anyways, let's get back to the yeah.
They don't need to sell consoles. They're making, but if you pay for a year of Game Pass, they're getting $150 a year, right? That's way more than they'll probably make just like selling one console to you every 7 years. You know what I mean? Or however people buy their consoles. I buy like 2 consoles a generation. I usually buy the slim one whenever it comes. But this is a good reoccurring payment Microsoft's gonna constantly make, and it's all going to Microsoft. I believe it's going to. I don't know how the accounting works there, but it's Microsoft making money, And Sony, eventually they're going to lag behind. Eventually Microsoft's going to start making a little bit more than Sony. Eventually Sony's going to be like, okay, we need to find our own Game Pass alternative so then we can start getting into this cheddar ourselves. When that happens, it's going to be great because Sony has a lot of backlog of titles of PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 games that they could totally add to their console, and I will buy your Game Pass if you add them all to them.
Yeah, please figure out your backwards compatibility so I can play classic games like Small Soldiers, A Bug's Life, and Rugrats. I want to play all those games. The Harry Potter game from the original, want that as well.
Harry Potter 2 prototype.
Yes.
But the loop of console wars are going to constantly happen. But speaking of other loops, Mario, do you want to talk about our
we were not going to talk about that story, but since you're bringing
it's
it
the
up.
next one behind it. My bad.
No, I know. I got you. No, I'm kidding. We were going to talk about it quickly because it's Fee's favorite game. Loop Hero is a surprisingly addictive, endless RPG. Sells 500,000 copies in 1 week.
It's really good for an indie game.
Yeah, it's this is by Rebecca Valentine from IGN. Let's see here. 1 week ago, a surprising little RPG about the end of the world launched on Steam, published by Devolver. Now, only 7 days later, Loop Hero has sold over 500,000 copies. With 500,000 players now at an average of playtime of 12 hours, that makes an estimate of 3 trillion hours played and 18 billion loops. At least according to Devolver, who may be exaggerating a little bit. Yeah, they're definitely the ones that would exaggerate.
They're definitely exaggerating a little bit.
Soundtrack is also the fastest selling in Devolver history. Nice. So, Fee, what does that make you feel?
So happy. No, honestly, like...
So happy...
Together!
So happy.
I thought you were wearing a onesie for a second. I was like, oh, cool. It's like a Pikachu onesie.
No, I'm wearing a Shroot Farm shirt. Like, it has like a bead on it.
What should be a Loop Hero one?
Very nice.
It's a Loop Hero t-shirt.
No, I wish.
He is now 100% the number one Loop Hero fan.
I mean, Point in Progress is the reason why that game
Devolver
sold.
Digital.
Yeah, it sold 500,000 copies.
Devolver, we expect
People
some kickback
listen
here.
to the podcast. They're like, man, that Fee girl has some really good suggestions. And yeah, I do. You're
Nina
welcome.
Struthers, call me, please.
Nina Struthers, please call us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. No, honestly, I'm really happy that this game is becoming so popular because it's a game that, like, it's not an orthodox game in comparison to, like, the AAA games that sell, like, a large amount in their first week. It is a small roguelike deck builder game that is 100% up my alley. It's a game that I would particularly play, and when I'm streaming it, people are like, this is definitely a Fee game. And absolutely, like, it has that kind of like darker theme to it, and it's relatively easy but complex enough that every single time that someone comes in and they're like, man, this looks really cool, how do you play it? I'm like sitting there explaining it as my character is running around in this loop. And I'm really excited about this because it might like lean more like interest into deck builder games, which for me, give me all of them. Like, send them my way, because they're definitely a type of game that's just, it gives you enough time to, like, you need to think about it, and it definitely has consequences, but at the same time you learn at the same time. It's really great. I am really happy for them. For Quarter, who is the group who made it, and then the developer obviously is Devolver Digital. I'm really happy. Congratulations, guys. And yeah, because I've bought it twice already.
Twice?
I bought it for myself.
Twice?
I bought it for Harv.
I
bought it for Harv because I'm like, this is 100% a game that Harv would like. And then I bought it for him, and then for some reason it popped up on his stream. So here we are.
I was so confused. I'm like, what's this pop up? Oh, it's wait, Fee just gifted me a game. Okay.
I thought Harv only liked Neo too.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No,
Yeah,
I was
Harv
watching
only plays one game.
Sekiro.
Sekiro tied into this game. No, I was watching your stream feed, I think we were sitting in Discord, and you were streaming it. And I was like, man, this looks like a really, really cool game, because I'm not a big fan of like roguelikes, but this one has like that loop. It all depends on the loop for me, right? Hades had a really, really good combat loop and a really good loop that for your upgrading and all that kind of stuff. and that's what really got me addicted. And it's got a good story. This one just seems like it's got a good combat loop, and it's got a cool little thing with the deck builder stuff. I've never ever played a deck builder, so this is gonna be my very first time doing like this kind of type thing. So I'm actually really, really excited to jump into this. This is what I'm jumping into next week. One of the 3 different games, guys. The different games I'm be jumping in next week. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm doing 3 different games.
And one of them, I specifically said you need to play this on stream because I think you'd really enjoy it. I've always liked kind of like dark, kind of like HP Lovecraftian, kind of like elder kind of creatures, and so I think it's definitely something that it's nice that it's being introduced and has that 1980s vibe, and it's just overall it's easy to play, but it's just complex enough that it keeps you interested, and then you're constantly like, ooh, what's the next loop going to look like? I think someone compared it to cocaine. I'm literally remembering that Devolver Digital posted an article that said that it is as addictive as cocaine, which, once again, Devolver Digital, your news and your information that you give out, like, by all means, like, I'd rather, like, this game is fantastic. I highly recommend it for everybody. And it's currently, I think, only $10 USD in the Steam store. I know it's 14 Canadian, so I'm trying to do quick maths in my head. But yeah, I'm hoping that we see more indies that are not just like, oh, let's play like a 4-person co-op or think kind of like, what is it? Things like Fortnite. I want something like this. I want more games that have a really great storyline and just allow you to immerse yourself without having to feel the burden of I have a storyline and I have to continue. It's just I finished a loop and then I beat the boss and then I come back to my campfire and then that's all you need to worry about.
That's the same how I felt when I played Solitaire Conspiracy last year, the Mike Bethel game, because I just played through it and mindlessly just getting through, and it was a story-based thing, and all you had to do was just play games. So simple, so mindless. So I get it.
Would you say that you enjoy it because of the short length of it?
I would say so. I would enjoy the short length of it. Trying to figure out what the segue is.
The indie.
I was trying to segue to the hot takes.
That is the end of the news. Take it away, Frank.
All right, so we're gonna transition to something smaller here, which is the hot takes. Mario, take it away.
No, Fee.
No, it's Fee. It's Fee.
Okay, sorry, I got it backwards because you guys switched.
On the doc, it says Fee.
I know, but on the doc earlier, it also said Fee, so.
True.
All right. Yeah.
It did.
You're right.
So Fee, take it away.
Yeah, so our hot take from this week is from the good old Reddit, but I actually 100% agree with it, so I'm taking it for myself. Thank you, Reddit. It is about the fact that people put too much weight on the length of games as its if it's a value, dollars per hour. And concise game shouldn't be knocked solely on that factor alone. I personally, if it's a good short game, I'm super happy. If it is a literal mess and it is 200 hours, I'm not going to be happy about that. Like, if it just because a game's 30 hours in comparison to something that might be 100 hours, I don't think that it should be like, oh, this game wasn't long enough, or they didn't put enough effort into this. Sometimes it's about the quality, not the amount. So how do you feel about that, Sly?
I have such strong feelings. Oh my gosh. I 100%. Games need to be shorter. Why? Because when games are long, they end up being not good at some point. There is a point where your game goes from being a game to being repetitive nonsense. Games need to be shorter. Just because a game is 200 hours doesn't mean every single hour of those 200 are going to be enjoyable, right? So if you want to take a game and it's, maybe you don't want to play a $60-$70 game that's like 2 hours, right? That kind of feels like a ripoff. I get that. But when games are when you sit there and tell me that, hey, I'm playing this game, I'm 100 hours in and I still haven't finished it yet, that's an immediate turnoff for me. I want a nice bite-sized experience that I can enjoy. It makes me feel something. I'm having fun. I'm enjoying the mechanics. I don't want to have to wait 200 fucking hours to get the end of the story, right? I want to be able to play it in like a week or so, or like a couple sessions. So I want shorter games. I want more games to be shorter. I want there to be more games that I can look at and go, I'm going to enjoy every single minute of this. That's my spiel. How do y'all feel?
I want to approach it in the same way where I think when we talk about the length of the games as its value, the dollars per hour thing, but how are we valuing games right now, right? So the new ticker right now is game like next gen games are $70, right? All games are $60 or $70. Like that is like the main thing if you were going to be on this console. Yeah. However, we have indie games that often go for less, so usually $15, $20. Do you feel like there's a discrepancy on in terms of like the value of like in those games? Because I feel like you can find like a $20 game that actually gives you like the same amount of hours as the $60 titles. But I'm just curious if like, do you think is $70 too much, or are we pricing it too little because there's so much to do? Like, what are your guys' takes on that? Like, there are certain games that I feel like are the billion-hour ones, like the Fallouts and the Elder Scrolls, where you can do literally a billion things. It just feels interesting that we still charge $70 for that when there's like thousands of things in those things. I don't know. Does anybody have any idea if I defer my weird thought that I just had?
You're saying that because a game is $70, like you're saying there's so much in the game, should it be more than $70?
Yes.
Right? Because you see other games that have a little bit less, and they're that price as well, right?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, but I feel like at some point you have to have a cap, right? Because like $70 in the US is $70. Here it's like $110 in Canada.
110, yeah.
Right, and then Australia, I think it's even more over there. Right, I know currency exchange and everything, it kind of makes sense, but man, whenever I buy a game for full price, it hurts. It hurts, man. When I see that like 110 coming out, I'm like, man, that's like a budget. I buy like 2 games per year. Then at that point, maybe 3 games per year. It's not. That's why I keep replaying the same games over and over again. Right. The one thing that comes back to me talking about this is what remains of Edith Finch, for example. Right. This is the first thing that came into my mind.
Sure.
It's a 2-hour game. When it first came out, it was like $35. I think it was $35 when it came out in Canadian.
Yeah. Sure.
So
it was like $20 for us or something like that.
Yeah, it was like 25 or something like that for you guys.
Yeah.
But that game is worth the $35 because of what that game is for those 2 hours. But then when you play a game like, say, maybe this is gonna be bad, Pokemon, for example.
oh no! Here we go again.
You spent full price on that,
shit.
And you're like, I spent full price on this game when I could have just spent $35 on Edith Finch because I would have had a better experience in that game than I did in this one.
I feel
right.
I would switch Pokemon with maybe Order 1886, but you're I see what you're saying.
Yeah. I just feel.
Do you mean the PlayStation game?
Yeah, remember how that game was $60 and only like 3 hours long?
Oh yeah.
I was just trying to remember. Was it Order 1886? It was. Yeah.
Yeah, the Order. That's a game I keep thinking about wanting to play again because I liked what I played, but it was short.
It's short. It's too short.
It's like a movie, you know. Yeah, I mean, I'm conflicted on it because there are times where I also think that certain games do too much, and that's why I think I approached the question. It was because there are games like, I'm going to say this, Ubisoft games that just plow in endless amounts of garbage in their games, like
the formula.
Yeah, Sly, you have something to say?
Yes. So speaking of Ubisoft games, I got Immortals Phoenix Rising, right? I played through that. The first area, 100%. The second area, 100%. The rest of the areas, I went through and I got all of the things I needed to like accomplish for like different trophies. There is one area that I did the absolute bare minimum. There's still like probably 80% of that area I haven't touched because I didn't need to, because I platinumed the game and I don't want to go back. Like, I really enjoyed the first part of that game. I really enjoyed it. I wanted to go through every area. I wanted to find all of the mounts. I wanted to find all of the different things, etc., etc. But at some point, I just stopped caring. And I did, you know, all of the like goals, all of the benchmarks that they're trying to encourage you to do, I did. So now there's no incentive for me to go back and get all of the chests and get all of the different this and that or whatever. Like, you don't make me want to engage with your world anymore at a certain point because, like, I already have the platinum. Like, I don't even want to, like, look at the DLC. I spent so much time in that world and I still didn't finish it, at least in my opinion. Like, I feel like there's so much left, but there's no incentive for me to go through that game anymore. And that's just like really frustrating because I enjoyed it so much at the beginning. I did want to see every single thing. And then it just like, you know, it got to be too much. There's too much shit, not enough gold.
Yeah, I just feel like certain games like that, like specifically what you're saying, you just get overstuffed with things that I think are resources that they could have used, maybe improving other aspects of the core game to make the core game better. If it's via animation or making sure things don't clip into the world in certain ways, or, you know, any bugs. Like, I just feel like these games are just like the world in Assassin's Creed Valhalla is just too big. It's too big. Too many things to do in it. And it's like
too much stuff.
God, like if I wanted to only play Assassin's Creed games, I would have enough time to just play just Assassin's Creed to make it to the other one because it will take me 5 years to finish. But at the same time, a lot of games do that, and I feel like it's interesting. And I'm bringing up Cyberpunk, but I felt Cyberpunk had even though it is big and open right now, and there isn't no DLC for it as well, other than the patches that are delayed. The list that they gave you felt doable and accomplishable, and then you're done. Like Frank, I think did everything.
I did every single thing you can possibly do in Cyberpunk.
But
I only put like 100 hours into it.
The problem that I have with Cyberpunk is everything that you do is so repetitive. Like sure, the story quests are good, but then it gets so repetitive after a while. It's the same kind of random events that happen.
Yeah, but
right. I had the same problem with like Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I haven't played Valhalla, but Odyssey, I got through about 60 hours of that game, 70 hours of that game, and I had to drop it. I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, this is just too much. I've unlocked 1/4 of the freaking map, and I have 60 hours into this game, and I'm one of those OCD people that have to finish everything on the map, right? Mm-hmm. And once I did that with The Witcher 3, and I did the entire map. I did all the question marks, and I was like, never doing that ever again. Never do that ever again. Because I did the same thing with Zelda. I got every Korok seed in that game, all 900 of them.
Wow. Yeah.
And then after that, I told myself never again. Then I did The Witcher 3. But now I'm saying never again.
Just like you're saying, I'm going to play Sekiro and beat my score. You're going to say that never again?
But that's different, though, because that's only an hour. Yeah, right? That's an hour of my time. I'm not spending. Well, I am spending like 70 hours trying to beat it, but it's the same thing over and over. In like you're just getting better at the game, right?
Yeah.
The stuff in like Assassin's Creed is just fluff. It's just like just to pad out the time, and I feel like Cyberpunk had that as well with a lot of their stuff that was around the map. It's not as much as the Ubisoft stuff, I think.
Yeah,
I think they did a decent job of like not overwhelming you with stuff, but it's still fluff. But I guess open world games just have that now, just to make the world feel alive.
That's why I feel like the value in the game thing. I'm like, you're overstuffing it. Like, I don't know. I just think that there's some things that just go ahead.
Oh no! I was just gonna say there are times where like I want to play a game that's very linear and story, like. Eden Fitch did it. We had like things like Brother, which was a game that was on Steam, a bunch of other ones as well, about really two young children that go off. Or Florence was a great example as well. Florence was what? A 2-hour immersive game. A fabulous game. Yeah. I was 100% okay spending the money on it because you're getting immersed in the story. And I think it shouldn't be so much about like how long it is. It should be about 1, story. 2, it should be about like how the graphics look and everything. Because with Florence, for example, beautiful game. The story was great. Did not matter that it was only 2 hours long because it was like you started from one area, like you started from the beginning to the end. The pictures and how it moved and the way that you interacted with the game was fun, like great.
Yeah.
And there are times where, great example of this, and this is fresh on my mind because we were talking about it earlier, was like Fallout 4, where you could go in. It is a large map, but there's different things that like interact and change the way that you play depending on who is your companion at the time. Or is it a specific time of day? Like what's happening in this particular area? Or, oh, I turned on my radio and I changed it 1 dial and now I hear like someone specifically asking for help. Like there's different things in that game that, yes, there are some definite repetitive things. And yes, we're not going to be talking about the glitches, but the storyline itself, I personally, I'm going to be straight up honest with you guys. I never finished the game. I got 130 hours into that game and I did pretty... Yeah. Did I spend 40 hours dressed up like a mafia, like gang, like 1940s gang member with Nick Valentine and like just strolled around the wasteland, like shooting at people? Abso-fucking-lutely. I was living my best life doing that. Like, but it was just so great to see how like people interacted with even just my companion. Like you couldn't go into certain areas with Nick Valentine because certain groups don't like synths. So you can't go into the Brotherhood of Steel, or you can't specifically go into this area that don't trust people who are robotic. Like you can't do certain things like that. I think that was such a great way that the game played out. But at the same time, I spent full price on that game. Was I angry that I spent full price and the digital deluxe edition on Fallout 76? Abso-freaking-lutely I was, because it did not work properly. And that was like, yeah, there's like an X amount of time that you can play it in, but it's still not working. And I don't think that how long a game is should really reflect on how much money it is. It should be other factors like, were you immersed in the game? Were the graphics good? Did I end up liking the storyline? Because if the story is good and the way that the gameplay is great, I'm happy to pay full price for it. But if it's something that's not working or like it's just flawed in multiple other ways, great example of this, No Man's Sky was also another very long game that like did not work and did not meet expectations. But $60. These smaller indie games, $60 for that, which was like $70 for like $79.99 for us. Like it's ridiculous how much money it was. And I think that they're small indie games that put in the time and the effort. Great example, Loop Hero. It's a freaking $10 game in the US at this time, and you can play for a very, very long time. People have put in an insane amount of hours on this at this point. I see some people that are currently at 20 plus hours, if not more, on this game. That's literally a fraction of the price of these like massive games. I don't know. We
care way more about the quality of the game rather than quantity. Like,
yes,
it seems like we're all very willing to spend a full price on shorter games if it's a good game.
Yes. Because the amount of time, I don't care. Like, if it's someone's like, oh, it was 30 hours. I'm like, okay, but it's 30 hours of good content. Be happy. Like what? Okay, at that particular price point, you're looking at $70 for 30 hours. Like you're looking at like just a few dollars per hour. Like enjoy the experience that you had. You want to go out to the movies and spend $70 to watch a 2-hour movie after you get all your snacks and treats and everything, but you're upset because a game would last you 30 hours? Get over yourself.
That's what I mean. Frank,
these people put in the time and effort. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I get really irritated by that because people spend on stupid shit, but then they get mad because a group of people spent months making a game and made it 30 hours, but they condensed it down. So yeah, years
and years.
But they condensed the game experience down to a certain amount of time, so it's not repetitive, or it's not annoying, or if it's like, we made sure that the game ran properly. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I feel the same way, but I apply it to movies where so many people put so much effort in these movies, and some movies can be dog shit, but I tend to not call them dog shit for the most part. I just say I didn't watch it or I didn't like it and move on. Like that's about it. But for sure.
No. Sometimes it's too much, but like too many hours, and like for example, Valhalla. That's definitely, from what I've heard, is just you play that game forever. Because
Sounds
there's
like
so much going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like video games.
Yeah.
Oh, I love video games.
Yeah. Fuck Maquette. Play Florence. It's a better game. That's all I'll say.
Hey,
Hot take.
Hey, we
I'm
can
playing
like more than
Maquette.
one game here.
Nope.
I'm playing Maquette this
We
week.
should like more than one game.
Fuck Maquette. It didn't work.
I mean, okay, if I run into the same problem, I will be in your camp.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm playing it this week. I will be in your camp, but I'm reserving judgment. That's the word. I'm reserving judgment until I actually play it. So
Oh my God.
I might join you on that one. I don't know yet.
All right.
All right. Are we ready to head into some listener questions?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Okay. I want to do this rapid fire. So that means if you go over 2 sentences, cutting you off, right? Let's get through some questions snappy.
I thought
From
we
Nick
were doing one
Blaine.
or
Do it. Going through all of them.
I just want to go through a couple. Nick Blaine, right? First album's gonna be long story. What was the last album you bought? I just bought Whamilton by Wawa, a deaf rapper. He's super awesome. Love to support deaf artists. Fee, what was the last album you bought?
Loop Hero. Next.
Harv, what about you?
I don't.
What do you want me to say?
Perfect answer.
I don't. So it's just like Loop Hero next.
No, I bought the. Like, I like the music.
Harv, what was the
Dude,
last album you bought? Come on.
No, like a physical one?
Whatever.
Did you buy digital music?
No.
All right.
Creed. Human Clay.
Jesus, that long ago. Okay.
Mario, how about you?
I bought the album, the Childish Gambino album with Redbone on it. I'm trying to remember the name of the album. It's a great album. There you go. That's what
Frank?
I got for you.
I bought a death metal album from Sweden.
Nice.
Okay.
All right. From Christian, what's everyone's favorite Adam Sandler movie? I've only seen the one. It wasn't great. The one that made the song Escape popular again. I don't remember what it's called.
Grown Ups is what you watch.
That one.
Yeah.
Not great.
That's a
Fee,
mistake.
what's your favorite Adam Sandler movie?
50
Sorry, who?
First Dates.
Oh, okay.
All right. Harv?
Happy Gilmore. Let's go. That is one of the best Adam Sandler movies.
It's all in the hips.
It's all in
the hips. Shooter.
Don't you want to go
Mario,
into your
what's your
hole?
favorite?
My favorite is Click. Click is a fantastic movie. You should see Click.
All right. I can speak. Frank, what's yours?
Big Daddy.
It's a great one. Big
That's a
Daddy's
good
so
one.
good.
Big Daddy's a really good movie.
Next one from Ruben. This is a yes or no question, y'all. Will Zack Snyder's Justice League be the peak of cinema as we know it? Asking for
No,
a friend.
next question.
No, next question.
Yes, next
Next
question.
No.
So resounding hell.
No. Hell to the no.
Absolutely not. From Kyle, the homie, friend of the show. What is your favorite laughably bad movie to watch? He says he gets a kick out of The Happening. My favorite movie is Another Cinderella Story, the Disney Channel original movie about Selena Gomez wanting to be a dancer. It's awful. It's my favorite movie. Frank, what's your laughably bad movie to watch? Silence.
I have no idea.
Alright. Mario, do you have one?
Yeah, but I'm trying to think. You know what? Fuck it. Magic Mike XXL.
Justice
nice.
League.
It's so bad. I love watching it.
Frank, yours is Justice League.
There you
Yeah,
go.
we'll go with Justice League.
Okay.
I think we liked it when we
Harv?
saw it.
You know what? We're gonna go back to Adam Sandler. Little Nicky.
Yeah.
Little Nicky's
Little
not bad,
Nicky.
though.
It's
not
bad.
great.
It's not great.
It's not great. It's
not
not
bad.
great.
It's
fine.
laughably bad.
You know, that's fair.
Nah. No. I can't be on this
Fee,
road
how
with
about
you.
yourself?
Yeah.
There was okay. Here's the thing. I need to do a quick disclaimer.
Okay.
I thought it was a good movie. Apparently, no one liked it. It was 1,000 words with Eddie Murphy. I liked that movie. It did really bad. I don't understand.
Oh, I changed
Remember
my
this movie.
answer. I absolutely have to change my answer. My favorite laughably bad movie to watch is the one with Eddie Redmayne where he's the villain.
Jupiter Ascending. Jupiter Ascending.
I love that movie. I love that movie.
He likes to
So
talk
bad.
this low and gets very whispery, and then suddenly gets so loud. It's so great.
It's so bad. I love it. That's my favorite laughably bad movie to watch. Last one from
Sorry,
Bafana. If you could be an animal that doesn't exist on your continent, what would you be? A jellyfish. They don't have brains.
A unicorn.
Okay. Mario?
I would be. What is the animal from Ninja Sex Party that they fight?
Dragon.
No, not just the other thing. Manicore. If I could be an animal that doesn't exist, I want to be the manicore.
Harv.
I want to be a kangaroo. I'm gonna hop the fuck around everywhere. You know, that's what I want to do.
All right. Fee?
I fucking hate Bafana. Son of a bitch.
You know you love Bafana.
That son of a bitch.
Oh my god. God. You would have seen that I could think of one off. I would be a tiger. There you go.
Those exist on our continent.
What do you mean they exist on our continent? In a zoo?
Dudes!
Okay.
Yeah, but
I'm
then every
sorry.
animal could exist on your continent.
Yeah, that is true. That
I
every
want to
animal.
be a griffin. I will be a creature
griffin?
that has.
Oh,
There you
fuck
go.
yeah. There we
Yeah,
go. There we
yeah.
go.
10 points to Gryffindor.
I'm not Gryffindor. Do not bring that upon me.
Slytherin. All right, that's all we got for listener questions. The rest we'll save for when we can actually have a discussion about them. Back to you, Frank.
Thank you. So that's it for the Point in Progress podcast for this week. Harv, where can we find you?
You can find me at Beard in the Hair everywhere except YouTube. That's Beard in the Hair Gaming. A podcast just went up within the beard yesterday. Today. Times a flat circle. With that Mario Rivera. Right to the right of me. That's probably not the right of me. That's the left of me, probably where you guys are
I
watching.
give you the confidence monitor for a reason, so you can see.
I'm not. Oh yeah, I guess that's true. That's true. Down there. Wait. Down there?
In there?
Nope, the
Yeah.
wrong side.
Wrong. This. You know what?
There you go.
He is on the podcast. He's somewhere on the podcast.
Somewhere.
We talk about all of like his history with DualShockers, about getting motivation to make content, and also kind of focus on YouTube primarily because that's more of his space. So it's an awesome podcast. You guys should go listen to it. It's on the youtube.com/beardinthehairgaming. And but other than that, I stream 5 days a week over on twitch.tv/beardinthehair, playing Neo 2 and Sekiro apparently only. That's all I'm playing. So,
That's it.
But,
yeah.
All right, Fee, where can we find you at?
Oh my goodness. Well, you can find me finally over at twitch.tv/Zeranix. I've been streaming again, which has been really nice and been a joy to do. You can also find me over on you can also find me on Twitter, where I post some sorts of interesting things and podcasts that I've been on. You can also find me my goodness. At the Cross Media podcast over at the Penultimate Conquest, where we talk about the final season of Attack on Titan. And last week's episode was nuts because we condensed 2 episodes into 1 hour, which was not something I thought we could do, but we definitely succeeded, which was a lot of fun. Also, I was golf claps, and I was also on the Co-op Mode podcast that's associated with the Secret Friends Unite with Todd and Mark. It was a lot of fun. We played 20 questions, and I stumped a lot of people. So if you go over and listen to the podcast and you can figure out who I was talking about before we hit question 20, let me know and I will send you a prize. GG, good luck. Good luck. Because apparently I thought it was going to be easy. It was not apparently easy.
That's funny.
Sly, where can we find you at?
It's Dead Week, so you can't find me anywhere. I'm here. I'm around the internet at Slyclone. I'm in space right now. Shout out to my new green screen. We love to see it. You can maybe find me on the Point in Progress Twitch in the next couple weeks. And that's all I'm doing. It's Dead Week. I'm dying. College is hard, y'all.
All right, Mario, where can we find you at?
You can find me at youtube.com/thatMarioRivera. Of course, obviously on twitter.com/thatMarioRivera. And eventually twitch.tv/thatMarioRivera, where I'll hopefully be playing some games. I have some ideas. Hopefully that comes true. Let's hope.
Alrighty then.
Let's all hope.
And then you can find me here at Point in Progress. We hit 144 subs. Finally.
Woo!
We're very close to that coveted 150, so... we are starting to hold some giveaways on our Twitter as well at Point in Progress. So if you want to win some games, you want to win some other stuff, we are going to be holding those a little bit more often. You can find me on Twitch at Venom Unfit Snake. I don't think I'm going to be playing anything this week, but I will. I have a game in mind that I want to stream, and I will stream it hopefully soon. But thank you very much, everybody. It's been a awesome podcast as always. It's been a great week, and we will see you all next week.
That's right, because progress has been made.
Wow. Gay.
I can't do that. You can do that.
I can do that.